If I see myself, I start talking.
Yeah.
No countdown. Okay.
Cool. There's your intro. Okay, colleagues, there we go, break leg. Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're going to go from that shot into that one. All right, whenever you're ready, you just go to your browser. Excellent. Going live. Break legs.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. My name is Limba Mupetami and I welcome you to today's edition of the show. And with this show we bring you local as well as international sports events. And not to waste any time, let's get into the business of things rather, looking at the back page of today's Namibian Sun edition. Now, as you can see there, we've got 3 stories, 2 boxing stories as well as 1 on football. Now, the football part we will get into a little bit later in the show. Starting off with the first story on today's back page is that of the demolisher who will be facing Malawi's Simeon Tisheta on the 27th of February at the Vinju Country Club for the HBO African title. Now, the fight will headline the MTC Salute Boxing Academy's Boxing Bonanza. Now, moving on to the second story, which is the headline story of today, is headline Shattered Dreams. Now, last year, according to the Secretary General of the Namibia Olympic Committee, Johan Smith, 11 boxers were registered to take part in the African qualifiers in Senegal. Now, what happened was that the Ministry of Sport, according to Ms. Smith, told them that there are no funds to send these boxers. Only 3 boxers got a chance to travel to Senegal, from which only 1, Jonas Juniors, qualified for the Olympic Games. Now, the idea of sending, or rather the leftover boxers were supposed to go to the World Qualifiers, to get a chance to qualify for the World Cup. Now, the World Qualifiers has been cancelled. I know for a lot of people, these would rather seem like, not a story to look at since it's at the back of the newspaper. But it is actually a very sensitive issue, since a lot of boxers will not now have the chance to compete in the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games is the World Cup for a lot of sportswomen and men. This is what dreams are made of. This is why these athletes are training. But now these athletes' dreams have been shattered. And just to add voice to that, we have invited Benjamin Rebang from the Namibia Boxing Federation just to add his voice on this scenario at the moment. Welcome, Mr. Benjamin.
Thank you for having me.
Just before we get into the interview, for you viewer, if you're out there, please do send in questions if you have any, during the interview. And yeah, as I said, welcome. And I'm sure you have read the story.
Yes, I did.
What do you think about it?
Yeah, no, obviously, you rightfully put it that, the dreams of these boxers have been shattered. I mean, the other 2 remaining boxers were boxers that came through our ranks of, the youth. Try again, for example, he had the opportunity to go to the Youth Commonwealth Games and then also to the elite or the senior elite Commonwealth Games. This time around, we have decided to leave one of our boxers out. I mean, one of them who participated in the last Olympic qualifier, and we wanted to put up one of our prospect, a very talented boxer in the name of Johannes Trofinus. And we really wanted him to also, go to this event. And I mean, for him, and since he has worked so hard, I think, both of them basically, it's really, their dreams are really being shattered this time around.
Okay, just before we delve more into it, the Boxing Federation, to what extent are you guys involved in or rather with the boxers actually?
Yeah, these 3 boxers that we are talking about, or rather the 3 boxers, all of them, the 3 who went to the Olympic qualifiers, we actually got some the Olympics solidarity scholarships for these boys. So these boys were all along on scholarships. We talk about Try Again, who is also hailing from Enana, I mean in Wangwena. He was then shifted to Swakopmund to also train with our boxer, I mean Jonas, who has already qualified.
Yes.
So we were really trying to, see to it that, we create a conducive environment for these boys, since they have, the scholarship available to train.
Okay, so of course this the African part of the qualifiers has been cancelled, but if you look at the Americas and the Europe, is there any possibility that some of these boxers can maybe try and qualify through that? Hence the fact that, a lot of boxers haven't actually taken part in any competitions. Now, if these boxers are allowed to, or rather if the federation is now saying that they are looking at the world rankings and the rankings haven't moved.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, all these events are continental based. There's no way that a boxer from Africa can go and participate in European Games or a European Olympic qualifier. So basically, we were actually thinking about the world qualifier, because that's when all of the guys who didn't, or the boxers who didn't qualify at their respective continents can now go and try to qualify. And that was what we wanted to do. One thing that I should also just mention is we have both these boxers, Try Again and Trofimus. Trofimus came, he's around 20 years old now. Try Again is now 22 years old. And we really wanted to expose them as much as we can, in their early ages, so that at least from, say, 2 years or 3 years, or at least for the next Olympics, they should have been matured. So it's really an opportunity that I think our boxers have lost. But we can do nothing about it. So,
yeah, a lot of countries, when it comes to the Olympic Games, they have a group of, say, 50 athletes that they're sending out. At the moment, I think Namibia only has 6 athletes. Do you think that sort of takes away our chances of picking up medals at the Olympics? Yeah,
no, obviously. The more you are, the better the chances. So, the lesser you are. But again, as I'm saying, from the boxing side, we really have Jonas. It's not the first time that he went to the Olympic Games. He did the same with the Commonwealth Games. He went the first time, he got himself a silver medal. And he went for the second time and he got himself a gold. So Jonas is, at his peak. He knows what is expected from him. And we, from the boxing side, we really expect him to, this time around, bring us a medal.
Okay, then Namibia, if you look at the Ministry of Sport, if you look at all the stakeholders, do you think that they take sport seriously in this country? Yeah,
it's something that I think we can debate about. Obviously, you can do nothing without funding. So, if the sports budget was cut, what can we do? We should understand that we have COVID around, and we are to prioritize, COVID.
But even before COVID, the budget has always been a stepchild.
Yeah, no, even then, but I think, it's something that can be debated about. Yeah.
Okay, moving on, your involvement with amateur boxing, local boxers. Do you think, with the position that you hold at this moment in time, do you think that you've uplifted boxing in Namibia?
Yeah, no, I should say I've really done, as much as I could with whatever that I had. Nowadays government is preaching about doing more with the little, and that is what we have done all along. We didn't get any funding, but we still remains with Jonas, whom we got from the previous regime, and we have maintained Jonas. And until such time that he got his gold medal. And I'm just thinking that we are certainly doing something, that is right.
Okay. A lot of people speak about Namibia having a great pool of boxers. What are maybe just some of your challenges that you face, when you interact with these boxers, with the local boxers?
From our side, it's basically funding. But fortunately, we really have, people on the ground who are so much passionate about boxing. We talk about the coaches on the ground, in all the regions. These guys are sometimes taking out their monies to make sure that they acquire, for example, boxing equipment. And they also make sure that these boxers are coming to these gyms. And they do it not to gain anything, but it's just for them to to have these boxers and to expose their talent. And they are not getting anything from anybody.
Yes.
And that's really something that I think we need to comment. I mean, the negativity for us, we didn't get any funding for the last 3 years from the Sports Commission. But boxing is still here. We are seated with one of our boxers who have qualified. And that is what we are saying.
Okay, now looking at the women aspect, you know, getting women involved in, I'm always very passionate about women issues. Looking at introducing women in the gentleman's game, is that something that you're looking at?
Yeah, we really started to look after this issue since the inception in 2016. We started with by enrolling one of the women coaches, for example. I mean, in the name of Maria Ileka, she's a qualified international coach. So, and she was also one of the people who are so instrumental. That's why lately with our AGM, the last AGM that we had, we said it is a must that we start with a commission on women in boxing, so that they could then advise, you know, the federation, I mean the executive, you know, to push the women in boxing, you know, ahead. We also hoped, you know, just after the AGM that at least we would have had an opportunity to put our girls into the youth games. But unfortunately, due to maybe some financial constraints, the Sports Commission informed us that we could not do that. But that is exactly what we would want to do. We would really want to start to include boxers, you know, in our teams. Everywhere where the Namibia Boxing Federation, when we go out of the country, people are always asking, but where are your women?
Of course.
And it's not like as if we don't have them. We have talented girls out there who are, you know, passionate about boxing, and they also do boxing. So it's just that time that I think we need to expose that talent. Yeah.
Just lastly, Mr. Rebang, when you leave office, what is just some of the things that you'd want to say that you have achieved?
Yeah, no, what we have done so far, one thing that I think we need to look at is when we took office, for example, we didn't have a constitution. We didn't have rules. We didn't have rules, regulations regarding boxing. You know, boxing was just but there. And when we came into office, we said, guys, this is what we need to do. We need to first establish, you know, our rules and get some policies in place so that we can start to regulate our boxing. Yeah, I mean, obviously it is a cumbersome process. I mean, it's not so easy to change. So, yeah, but we have set out those rules, and we are to start to enforce it from now on. And many of our affiliates, you know, the Namibia boxing affiliates, understands this. Obviously, we have here and there, you know, some of them that don't really understand, because, I mean, they still want to keep holding on, you know, on the past. But for these 4 years, you know, we really want to see how we can enforce that, so that whoever is going to, you know, take over from us, they will then have something to work on.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Benjamin. Thank you so much for coming through to the show and just shedding some light on some of those issues. With that, we're going to take a break, and then when we get back, we'll bring you more sports, you know, events to look forward to. Yes, that was a fantastic interview with Mr. Benjamin Rebang. Now, some of the guys that are watching us live, Otto MK, Salomo, D-Boy, Ananias, we can see that you are online. Thank you so much for always tuning into, just catching the Sport Rap show. Please continue doing so and supporting us. Now, moving forward, we have a special segment where we speak to local sports stars. Now, for today, we tracked down Beatrice Maselengi, track and field athlete Beatrice, a youthful athlete indeed. And this is what she had to say. So check it out.
Hello guys, my name is Beatrice. I hope you're all doing well. So first of all, we're going to talk about my training. I started training in the beginning of last month, beginning of January. So yeah, I would say it's going very well at the moment. Although in the beginning I wasn't feeling that well. I had like a hip injury or something like that, but everything is going well at the moment. I don't feel it, so yeah, everything is good. Okay, so I would love to continue with the training part later because I kind of got about that, so I'll just continue with my spikes. So I use Adidas spikes. It's called Sprinter. It's kind of the latest models, and I used them. I started using them, when was it? It was December, so that's when I made my PB, yeah, in the 200 and the 400 to try. So these are the spikes I used. They're orange, although the color looks weird on the camera. It's kind of yellowish, but it's dark orange, and yeah, it's really amazing. It's not that flexible, but it has a nice texture, it's flexible with the heel, but kind of hard at the toes, so just to keep the posture, right and stuff. But yeah, it's a nice brand actually. I actually love it. They're really nice to run in. They're very comfortable, so I'll suggest you guys also get yourself some of these Adidas Sprint spikes. And yeah, so I don't think I'll be competing anytime soon because I'm not ready for competitions at the moment, and I'm trying to save up energy for great stuff, so yeah. And diamond leagues and have some what is it called, and have some again have some bronze continental tours. Yeah, I only know one is happening in Botswana, but yeah, we're looking forward to go to that one because it's nearby and it will cost less money and stuff. But yeah, I'm still in shape, I'm still great. I didn't do any naughty stuffs in the holidays, didn't drink, nothing. So yeah, and I would love to tell the athletes out there too, you shouldn't drink, it's not healthy for you guys to be drinking and you're expected to go back on the track and train. It's not really good. You can go for holidays, but just watch out for yourself and know that you're gonna go back on track and you're still gonna die. So yeah, okay, so I train Monday to Friday, so I only do it weekdays. I skip Saturday and Sunday, which we do that for resting. And we'll be starting with the gym on Mondays, Wednesdays, and yeah, and Fridays. We'll be doing gym in those days. So yeah, I can't wait. I want to add on my strength and power. What is this explosiveness? Yeah. So I'm looking forward on increasing that and looking forward to good times. So I hope everything goes well this year for every athlete out there. I hope you all do your best, I hope your all training is going well and all that. So thank you very much. Okay. I hope you all stay safe.
Yes, just some of the comments that are coming in. Mr. Matthew, we hear you, we feel your pain, but unfortunately we're focusing on sports today. Let's just keep pushing. Moving on to tennis news. This morning, Serena Williams met Naomi Osaka in the semi-finals of the Australian Open. Well, Williams was looking to, collect another 24th Grand Slam title. But this obviously now has to wait because once again, the best player in women's tennis stood in her way. Osaka, who hasn't lost any official match since last February, put together a dominating performance in the Australian Open, beating her idol Serena. Now, Osaka is seeking for her 4th major title and 2nd Australian Open championship. She will play American Jennifer Brady, the number 22 seed, in the final. Well, if you're wondering who my money is on, it's definitely Osaka. Fantastic, phenomenal athlete there. Now, later this afternoon, I have been told that the match starts at 4 o'clock. The Young Warriors of Namibia will face Tunisia in the Under-20 AFCON tournament, which is ongoing right now in Mauritania. Namibia drew 1-1 with Central African Republic on Monday in their first match. Well, the players showed great technical ability, and of course the hope is for them to emulate that performance in this afternoon's match. So good luck to the Under-20s. Now with that, we're bringing you a clip all the way from Mauritania with the captain Stephen Damasab, sharing these words. Check it out.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, and you?
I'm fine. Today we are playing against Tunisia. We need to collect maximum points if we want to qualify for the next round of the competition. So what's the game plan?
Well, the game plan is actually we really need this win today. It's a do or die game for us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in and give our all to get those 3 points.
Okay, so this competition, what does it feel like being at this competition? I mean, it's the biggest competition on the continent for Under-20s. So what does it mean for you and your teammates?
Well, this is a dream come true, to be honest. It's something new. Well, I didn't play the first game, but this is a platform where we can showcase our talent, our hard work, dedication, and all. So it's an opportunity for us to be scouted and try and make it to the pro football, because there's not much opportunities in Namibia. This is a platform where we can showcase all that.
Well, that's it from Damasab. If you have time today in the afternoon, please do watch the match and support the players. Moving on to boxing news. Tomorrow night, we have Namibia's featherweight Desert Storm, Zakaria Desert Storm Lucas, taking on a fighter in Mexico. This is a tune-up match for the Namibian, who is, of course, also having another expected fight in March. Now, if he wins both fights, this obviously sets him in prime position for a title fight. So also, just having thumbs crossed for the Namibian boxer there. And moving on to football news, on Saturday you can expect to catch the semi-finals, the second leg semi-finals in the Women's Super League Cup. Of course, these matches will take place at the NFA Technical Center, so this also is a chance for you to make your way there and just catch some action. Tura Magic will obviously face V-Power Angels, and Commerce Nampo will go head-to-head with Girls and Goals. Now, also, I think this is the favorite topic for a lot of people, the English Premier League. If you see down there with the slides moving, these are just some of the fixtures that you can expect this weekend. Now, the highlight for me is the match between Arsenal and Manchester City on Sunday. Well, of course, at the moment, City is leading the log, and looking at that log, rather, I don't think any club is going to catch them anytime soon, with Manchester United, doing the chase. Arsenal, of course, me supporting Arsenal. We have faced a lot of inconsistency over the last couple of matches that we have played, but the hope is obviously, to just disrupt City's run. So that is a match to catch on Sunday. And with that, we have a local fan, an Arsenal fan, Oscar Haita, and this is what he had to say about the upcoming match.
Okay, the match that I'm looking forward to this coming weekend, it's the match between Arsenal versus Manchester City. This is definitely, for me, it's going to be the match of the weekend. It's the biggest match this coming weekend because you are looking at two teams that are wouldn't want to lose any point at this stage of the Premier League competition. So Arsenal have been on a good football form recently, and with Aubameyang just scored a hat-trick on the previous match, and they would like to keep up that momentum. They would like to keep the points coming. So on the other hand, you have Manchester City. They are sitting on top comfortably. they are already the favorite to win the league, so I don't think they would like to drop or any of those points. So I think it's going to be a very competitive match. Both teams are going to bring it, but for me, I'm expecting the person who is going to grab this this game by the collar, as always, is going to be Saka, because that boy is just something else. He play like an established player, and he's very comfortable. I've never seen a younger player play so comfortable. Even when approaching bigger and established player, he's just very good. So I expect both teams to bring it, and because Arsenal are home, they're also not likely to be pushed over, so they're going to let Manchester City know that this is their home. I think my prediction from this match is going to be 2-1, so in favor for Arsenal.
Well, yes, thank you so much to Oscar for coming through there with those, with that prediction, rather. Also to Kwana Hangula, who is watching this show, thank you so much for tuning in, and keep supporting us. And with that, this is the end of the show. Please do catch us again on Monday as we bring you a fresh edition of, you know, just some of the stuff that will take place over the weekend. And yeah, catch us. Thank you so much. Bye.